Imagine this. It's a drizzly autumn evening in 2024, the kind where Seattle's fog rolls in like an uninvited guest, thick and unrelenting. Swallowing the world whole, the low moan of foghorns echoes from Puget Sound, a haunting symphony that sets your teeth on edge as you grip the wheel of your car headlights, cutting futile paths through the murk. That's the scene that night on Interstate 5 north of the city, where the highway stretches like a lonely vein pulsing with taillights. And right there in the heart of it is Alex Harper, 42 years old, widowed architect, the guy who's spent the last 3 years sketching blueprints for other people's dreams, while his own life feels like a half-finished sketch, all sharp lines and empty spaces. Alex isn't the type to chase drama. No, he's the quiet hero of coffee runs and late-night dog documentaries, the man who once shared his Seattle condo with a goofy Labrador named Max until cancer stole him away in a blur of vet bills and goodbyes. That loss, it carved a hollow in him, one he fills with freelance gigs and the occasional hike in the Cascades, pretending the wind can whisper away the grief. But tonight, as he barrels home from a soul-crushing client pitch, some soulless high-rise that screams, "corporate trap," fate decides to throw him a curveball, or should I say, a curve-tailed one. There in the median strip, half buried under a sodden blanket of ferns and discarded fast food wrappers, something catches his eye. A shiver. A glint. Alex slows, heart-thudding like a bass drum in his chest. He squints through the wiper's frantic swipe. Could it be roadkill? A raccoon? No. It's smaller, softer, golden fur matted and trembling against the chill. "Hell no," he mutters, flicking on his hazards and pulling over into the emergency lane, the rumble of semis whooshing past like indifferent ghosts. He steps out, boots crunching on wet gravel, the fog wrapping around him like cold fingers. Kneeling low, he parts the foliage, and there it is, a puppy. A Labrador or so, he thinks, floppy ears, drooping like wet sails, those big paws too big for its shivering frame and eyes. Eyes that lock onto his with a plea that hits him square in the soul. Adrenaline surges that electric rush. Every animal lover knows the one that says, This is why you're still here." Alex scoops it up gently, the little body fitting perfectly in his palms, warm and fragile despite the rain. No collar, no tags, just pure vulnerability. "Hey, buddy," he whispers, his voice cracking with that mix of fury and tenderness. "Who left you out here? What kind of monster?" He wraps it in his wool jacket, the one his late wife Sarah used to tease him about, calling it his fog armor, and cradles it against his chest. The pup nuzzles in a faint whine, escaping like a sigh of relief, its tiny heartbeat syncing with his own. In that moment, as the fog presses closer and the highway hums its indifferent song, Alex feels alive again. Purpose, a second chance at pause and unconditional love. But let's pause here, because this isn't just a feel-good rescue reel. It's a story that digs deeper, the kind that makes you grip your steering wheel a little tighter on your commute, or stare at the ceiling before sleep claims you. See Alex's impulse. It's noble, the stuff of viral videos and hero saves pup headlines. But in the real world, it's a spark that can ignite a wildfire of complications. Take the stats, heartbreaking ones from the ASPCA's latest reports. Every year, around 6.3 million companion animals, like dogs and cats, flood U.S. shelters, with countless more dumped on roadsides like forgotten trash. Why blame the squeeze of modern life? Inflation jacking up vet bills by 10% just last year, housing costs forcing families into no-pet apartments, and the quiet desperation of folks who love their animals but can't afford the next crisis. Cause and effect in brutal clarity. One unpaid emergency visit, and a Labrador who was family yesterday becomes a statistic tomorrow. Alex knows this dance all too well. Sarah was the cautious one, always preaching, "Adopt, don't shop," with a checklist longer than his drafting table. She'd clip articles about parvo outbreaks and urge, "Call animal control first, Alex. Don't play hero without backup." But grief, it blinds you. It whispers that, this time it'll be different. And so he slides back into the driver's seat. the pup bundled on his lap, ignoring the smart voice in his head that says, "Scan for ticks. Check for fleas. At least snap a photo for lost pet posts." Common mistake number 1 for us animal whisperers. Skipping that initial health sweep. It sounds basic, but in the heat of the moment, rain-pounding, heart-pounding, you cradle instead of caution. Zoonotic diseases like leptospirosis lurk in those roadside puddles, jumping from wild critters to your new bundle of joy, then to you. One quick lesson to tuck away. Always ring up local control or a 24-hour vet line before bundling home. It could save a life or yours. But Alex, he's too deep in the glow, the pup's warm breath puffing against his neck like a tiny furnace, its whines mingling with the radio's crackle of some old Springsteen tune about thunder roads. "You're safe now, little guy," he murmurs, stroking the golden fur that's already drying into soft waves. No more fog, no more alone. As the city lights of Seattle flicker into view, Space Needle piercing the haze like a beacon, Alex steals glances at his passenger. Those eyes, though. In the dashboard glow, they catch the light funny, not with the warm brown of a lab pup, but something sharper, almost luminous, slicing through the dim like twin embers in the mist. He shakes it off, probably just the exhaustion, the emotion playing tricks. Labs have soulful eyes, right? Expressive, loyal. This one's no different. By the time he pulls into his condo's underground garage, the decision's made. No calls tonight. Tomorrow, he'll hit the pet store for kibble and toys. For now, it's baths and belly rubs. Up in the apartment with the fog pressing against floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Elliott Bay, Alex sets up a makeshift nest, an old sweatshirt-lined laundry basket by the couch. The pup, stronger now, wobbling on those oversized paws, sniffs the air, tail thumping a tentative rhythm. He grabs a shallow bowl of warm water mixed with a splash of milk, watching as it laps eagerly, pink tongue darting like a hummingbird. "Look at you go," Alex chuckles, the sound echoing in the too quiet space. It's the first real laugh in weeks. As the pup finishes, it toddles over, pressing its damp nose into his hand, those ears flopping comically. In a flash of inspiration, he names it Sunny for the golden coat that defies the gloom for the spark it's igniting in his chest. Sunny curls into the basket, eyelids drooping, but not before fixing Alex with that gaze again. Steady, knowing, almost watchful. He brushes it off, sinking onto the couch with a beer the day's weight lifting like fog at dawn. This is it, the fresh start he didn't know he craved. A Labrador pup to train, to love, to heal with. But as the clock ticks past midnight and Sunny's breaths even out into soft snores, a faint sound drifts from the basket, not a puppy whimper. Something lower, wilder, a yip that trails into a howl, muffled but unmistakable, like the call of something born under a different moon. Alex freezes beer halfway to his lips. The fog outside thickens, and for a split second he swears he sees movement on the balcony, a shadow slipping past the glass. His heart skips. Coincidence? Or the first crack in the fairy tale? Little does he know this chance encounter isn't random at all. It's the hook in a line that's about to reel him into depths he never imagined. But that's tomorrow's storm. Tonight, with Sunny's warmth chasing the chill from his bones, Alex drifts off dreaming of endless fetch games in sunlit parks. If only he knew the wild whispers waiting in the city lights. And just like that, as the bonds begin to weave tighter in the glow of Alex's high-rise haven, the real questions start to howl. What happens when playtime turns to prowls and loyalty meets the edge of instinct? Stick around, because the city that never sleeps is about to wake up to a secret with teeth. Building bonds in the city. Lights. Whispers of something off. You ever wake up to a sound that doesn't belong? A howl slicing through the hum of your city life, pulling you from dreams into a reality that's just a shade too sharp. That's Alex that first morning after the rescue, bolt upright in his Seattle condo. The fog from Interstate 5 still clinging to his mind like a bad hangover. The howl fades into a soft yip from the laundry basket, and there's Sunny golden fur, tousled those floppy ears, perked like satellite dishes, catching secrets from the ether. Alex rubs his eyes, chuckles it off as newborn jitters. Rough night, huh, buddy? Me too. But deep down, that sound lingers a tiny thorn in the fairy tale he's already scripting in his head. Man meets pup. Man heals pup. They heal each other. The days blur into weeks, and oh, what a whirlwind it is. The kind that makes you believe in magic again, especially if you're an animal lover, nursing a heart full of what-ifs. Alex dives in headfirst, stocking his pantry with premium Labrador kibble from that quirky pet shop tucked in Pike Place Market, the one with the fish-throwing salmon acrobats outside. He's got the routine down. Mornings start with a splashy bath in the kitchen sink, Sunny splashing like a furry torpedo, golden droplets catching the sunrise over Elliott Bay. Afternoons, epic play sessions in Discovery Park, where the saltwater air whips through the evergreens and Alex hurls driftwood sticks into the underbrush, Sunny, a blur of gold, fetching them back, not with the lumbering joy of a typical lab pup, but with this uncanny speed, a low-slung sprint that parts the ferns like a missile. Whoa! Slow your roll there, speed demon. Alex laughs, ruffling those ears, his chest swelling with that pure, unfiltered joy you only get when a wagging tail erases the world's rough edges. It's more than play, though. Sunny's weaving himself into the fabric of Alex's soul, stitching up the frayed edges left by Sarah's absence. Picture this Alex's therapy sessions at that cozy office in Capitol Hill, the kind inspired by those real-life support circles for pet loss survivors groups where folks share stories of paws that padded through grief like silent therapists. There he sits week 3 across from Dr. Lena, a sharp-eyed counselor with a rescue mutt of her own curled at her feet. Tell me about Sunny, she prompts, and out it pours the void since Max's passing amplified by Sarah's quiet strength slipping away 2 years back in a car wreck that still haunts his blueprints. He's like a bridge, you know, that father-son vibe where I'm teaching him boundaries and he's reminding me it's okay to chase sticks again, to feel something without the weight. Dr. Lena nods, jotting notes, but Alex feels it. Sunny's not just a pet. He's redemption in fur, filling the echoey condo with thumps and tail thwacks, turning solitary dinners into shared feasts of kibble and takeout scraps. It's motivational magic, the way one small life can reignite yours, proving that love doesn't always come in human packages. If you're out there driving through your own fog, remember, sometimes the best rescues save the rescuer first. But here's where the whispers start creeping in, those subtle shadows that make you lean closer, heart picking up pace. At first, it's the little things easy to chalk up to puppy quirks. Sunny's nocturnal yips, sharp echoing through the apartment walls, like coyote calls bouncing off the high-rises, waking Alex in sweats more than once. Teething, probably, he tells himself, popping in earplugs. Then, the leash aversion. Labs are born leash walkers, eager beavers tugging toward every squirrel but Sunny. He slinks through the shadows of alleyways behind the condo belly, low eyes scanning rooftops like he's mapping escape routes instead of sniffing hydrants. And the food, switcheroo kibble, gathers dust while Sunny devours raw steak scraps from Alex's grill knight's teeth, flashing with a hunger that's too primal, too scavenger sharp for a city pup. Let's unpack this, because it's not just cute anecdotes. It's a chain reaction rooted in instincts that don't quite match the brochure. Labs bred for centuries as human sidekicks, retrievers with hearts of gold wired for companionship from the duck blinds of Newfoundland to your living room rug. But Sunny's signals scream mismatch, those yips, echoes of wild packs communicating across prairies, not apartment complexes. The shadow slink survival mode, dodging threats in open terrain. Cause hits hard, maybe a backyard breeder skimped on pure lines, or worse, roadside dumps from folks chasing trends without the follow-through effect. A pup that's adorable now, but primed for chaos, later behaviors bubbling up like fault lines under Seattle's steady rain. And don't get me started on over-anthropomorphizing that sneaky pitfall we all tumble into. You see a wagging tail and project Disney dreams, ignoring the red flags, like those raw meat feasts that mirror urban coyotes raiding trash bins. Quick lesson to jot in your mental notebook. Patterns over cuteness. Start journaling those quirks like Alex does, one restless night scribbling in a bedside ledger. Yip at 2 a.m. Leash dodge number 5. Stake frenzy eyes lit up like coals. It's your early warning system turning blind love into wise guardianship. Trust me, it could be the difference between a lifelong buddy and a headline you never saw coming. Compare it to that wild 2017 uproar in Aurora, Colorado. A family's beloved lab shepherd mix, named Capone, got yanked by animal control after a yard escape. Suspected wolf hybrid based on behavior and experience, sparking court battles, viral pleas, and neighborhood jitters before DNA tests cleared him, reuniting the clan in tears. Heartwarming end, right? But flip the script. What if the tests didn't clear it? What if the just a dog verdict cracked open a Pandora's box of wild blood? That's the edge. Alex teeters on blissfully unaware as their bond deepens into something unbreakable. Sunny curls at his feet during late-night sketches, chin on his boot. Those luminous eyes tracking every pencil stroke like a co-conspirator. Alex even starts talking to him full confessions about Sarah's laugh, Max's sloppy kisses, and damn if Sunny doesn't tilt his head, yipping back as if he gets it, forging that father-son fire that makes you root for underdogs with everything you've got. Then the mini twist hits like a thunderclap in a drizzle, the kind that leaves you gasping, addicted to what's next. It's a Thursday. Alex buried in revisions, the condo thick with the scent of takeout Thai and forgotten laundry. A spark jumps from an overloaded outlet in the kitchen. Nothing major, just a smolder turning to smoke, flames licking the cabinets before the alarm even chirps. Alex dead to the world, headphones blasting Springsteen remasters. But Sunny, he erupts a guttural growl ripping from that fluffy throat low and feral, vibrating the floorboards as he launches at Alex's leg teeth, grazing just enough to jolt him upright. What the? Alex chokes smoke, stinging his eyes, but Sunny's already herding him toward the door, barking in that eerie hybrid howl yip that echoes down the hall. Fire department rolls in minutes later, dousing the blaze before it claims more than a singed cabinet and Alex's eyebrows. Hero of the hour. Not the architect, but the pup, praised by firefighters as one sharp cookie, his golden coat singed but spirit unbroken. Word spreads, of course. Enter Mia, Alex's skeptical sister, swooping in from Tacoma the next weekend with her tabby cat Whiskers in a designer carrier. She's the family realist, divorced, dog-free by choice, the one who shipped casseroles after Sarah's funeral, and now eyes Sunny like he's a puzzle with teeth. They picnic on the balcony, fog lifting to reveal the Olympics in the distance, and Mia watches Sunny demolish a chew toy with surgical precision. "Cute kid you've got," she says, sipping Chardonnay. "But that dog's got wilderness in its eyes, like he's sizing us up for supper." Alex laughs it off, defensive spark in his chest, but Mia's not done. She unleashes Whiskers for a supervised meet and greet, cooing encouragements. Sunny freezes ears pinned, then bam, a blur of gold as he lunges, not biting, but startling the cat into a yowling frenzy, bolting under the couch for hours, eyes wild as saucers. Mia's face hardens over coffee the next morning, Whiskers still traumatized in her lap. "Alex, that wasn't play. That was instinct. Promise me you'll get him checked, a full vet workup. For both your sakes." Her words hang like the fog rolling back in a knot, tightening in Alex's gut. He nods reluctant, but the seed's planted. Sunny, oblivious, nuzzles his handtail, thumping that rhythmic promise of loyalty. In the quiet hours that follow, as city lights twinkle like distant stars, Alex wonders aloud to the empty room. Does healing come wrapped in fur? Or hiding fangs? And just when the warmth feels unbreakable, the cracks widen those yips, turning to howls that neighbors start murmuring about. What happens when the vet's fluorescent lights strip away the illusions and the truth bares its teeth? Hold tight. The verdict's coming, and it's going to shake this high-rise haven to its core. The vet's shocking verdict. Unraveling the illusion. Ever sat in a waiting room where the air buzzes with barks and meows, but your gut twists like a storm's brewing just for you? That's Alex, that crisp Seattle morning carrier clutched in white-knuckled hands. Sunny's golden form huddled inside like a secret too big to hold. The whispers from Mia's visit echo louder than the foghorns off Puget Sound. Those yips turning heads in the hallway, the cat's terror replaying in his mind like a bad dream on loop. Obsession. Yeah, that's the word. Alex had paced his condo half the night, journaling quirks that now screamed for answers, booking this urgent slot at the bustling Capitol Hill Animal Clinic before dawn's first light. As he sinks into a plastic chair amid the urban pet parade. Huskies, straining leashes, rescues, purring in laps, he feels it. This isn't just a checkup. It's Judgment Day. And if you're the type who rescues with your heart wide open, you know that knot, the one that says, "What if love's blind spot bites back?" The clinic hums with life, that sterile scent of disinfectant, mingling with wet fur and anxious vibes, a far cry from the foggy highway where this all started. Alex steals peeks at Sunny through the carrier's mesh, those floppy ears twitching at every yelp, eyes locking on his with that trusting glow. "Just a growth spurt, right?" he mutters, scrolling his phone for reassurance. Landing on forums where lab owners swap stories of quirky pups turning into loyal legends. It's motivational fuel, the stuff that powers us animal lovers through the doubts. One vet visit and boom, confirmation that Sunny's your forever sidekick, ready for hikes in the Olympics and lazy Sundays by the bay. But as the nurse calls his name, leading him down a fluorescent lit hall to exam room 3, the air shifts. Heavier. Charged. Sunny whines softly, pawing the bars, and Alex's pulse ramps up like he's the one on the table. Enter Dr. Elena Vasquez, a no-nonsense vet with 20 years under her belt. Gray streaks in her ponytail, like badges from battles with everything from parvo pups to escaped exotics. She's got that steady gaze that calms chaos, clipboard in hand, as Alex lifts Sunny onto the steel exam table. "So, tell me about this little guy," she says. Voice warm, but probing gloved hands, gentle as she starts the once-over. Alex spills it all, the roadside rescue, the heroics in the fire. The odd yips and raw meat rages, watching her prod Sunny's elongated snout, part those razor-sharp milk teeth, and shine a UV light that makes his eyes pop with an eerie bioluminescent sheen. Sunny sits eerily calm, tail thumping once, then still. Dr. Vasquez's brow furrows deeper, with each check ear's pause that fluid pounce when a clinic mouse skitters across the floor. She steps back, face draining of color like she's seen a ghost. "Mr. Harper," she says, voice dropping to a whisper that chills the room. "This isn't a Labrador pup. It's a Coyote kit, a hybrid likely smuggled or escaped from some back alley breeder." Boom! The plot twist lands like a thunderclap in Alex's chest, shattering the illusion in a heartbeat. Not a lab. His mind reels, flashing to those golden fur moments, the nuzzles that felt like fate. "What? No, that can't," he stammers, but Dr. Vasquez holds up a hand, pulling up charts on her tablet. "Let's break it down, because this isn't sci-fi. It's science, raw and real. Coyote hybrids, or coy dogs, blend domestic dog traits with wild coyote DNA in unpredictable ways, with studies showing varying ancestry. Some eastern coyotes carry 5-25% dog genetic material per research from sources like the Urban Coyote Research Project and genetic surveys. That mix, it explains Sunny's hybrid vigor, the faster growth, bolder hunts that shadowy slink through alleys like he's wired for survival, not sofas. Purebred labs, docile family fluffballs, bred for retrieval and cuddles, hearts synced to humans from day one. But Sunny's predatory pounce on that mouse classic coyote lean cunning instincts, honed for the wild, not walks in Discovery Park. And here's the chain that hooks you deeper. The cause-consequence loop that turns cute rescues into cautionary tales. The illegal pet trade. It's a beast fueled by social media hype, TikTok trends like exotic pup challenges, luring folks into black market buys only to dump when reality bites. While exact dump stats vary, the US sees billions of live animals imported over decades, many from shady sources, with wildlife trafficking raking in billions annually, and leading to ecosystem chaos like urban coyote packs clashing with suburbs. Cause greed and ignorance, breeders crossing lines for unique pets without permits. Effect abandoned hybrids disrupting food chains, spreading diseases, and yes, posing risks when wild blood boils over. Think of the common trap we fall into, assuming every cute rescue is domestic gold. Skip the DNA test. You're gambling. Affordable kits like ember-like can decode ancestry for under $100, turning guesses into guards. Punchy lesson here. Truth stings like a vet's needle, but denial. It endangers everyone. Your family, your neighbors, even the animal you adore. The room spins for Alex. Dr. Vasquez's words blurring into a flashback that twists the knife deeper. Rural Oregon summers. 10-year-old him trailing his dad through misty forests, shotgun slung over shoulder for varmint control. City folk think they can tame the wild sun, his old man gruffed, pointing to coyote tracks near the fence line. But blood remembers. One wrong move, and it's not play, it's prey. Mirror to now, that warning echoing as Alex stares at Sunny, the kit tilting his head with that luminous gaze, almost pleading. Empowerment surges in Dr. Vasquez, leans in voice steady. Reporting to the U.S., Fish and Wildlife Service can bust these rings wide open. A quick call or email with details where when what you saw and you're part of the solution saving lives before they hit the black market. It's that motivational kick for us listeners, grinding through commutes or winding down, you're not powerless. One tip can topple traffickers, turning heartbreak into heroism. But the gut punch. That's when Dr. Vasquez shares the haunting case, her eyes shadowed with memory. A recent echo from Frisco, Texas, where a coyote attacked an 8-year-old girl on a Memorial Day walk, or the Bellevue bite on a child's hand that had wildlife officials scrambling. I've seen hybrids turn, she says softly. Small now, but in months, full size, lean cunning untamed. One kit like this mauled a toddler in California years back, instincts overriding everything. Alex envisions it, sunny grown golden coat, rippling over muscle eyes, not trusting, but tracking. Prey. The room closes in his protective fire, clashing with fear's cold grip. Surrender. Not yet. But as he bundles Sunny back, the carrier heavier than before, the world outside starts knocking phones, buzzing with Mia's texts, neighbors' stares sharpening. And just as the verdict cracks Alex's world wide, the storm brews bigger headlines, hungry scrutiny, sharpening like claws in the fog. What happens when one man's rescue becomes a city's showdown? Buckle up. The spotlight's about to blind, and the howls, they're just getting started. Picture yourself in a quiet Seattle condo, the kind with floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city's twinkling skyline. But the air inside feels like it's about to snap. That's Alex Harper right now, heart pounding like a drumline as he scrolls through his phone. Sunny curled at his feet, golden fur soft, but those luminous eyes sharper than ever. The vet's bombshell that his Labrador pup is a coyote hybrid still burns in his chest, a truth he's wrestling to keep caged. But the world. It's got other plans. One click, one post, and suddenly, Alex's private act of kindness is a viral wildfire blazing across screens from Queen Anne to the nation's feeds. If you've ever poured your soul into saving something, animal dream. Hope you know the dread when whispers turn to shouts and love gets judged under a spotlight. Welcome to the storm that's about to break Alex's world apart. It starts with Mia, his sister, the realist, who saw Sunny's wild glint and couldn't stay quiet. Late one night, fueled by Chardonnay and worry, she fires off a Facebook post, "Bro's got a wild card playing fetch in his condo, help pick of those eyes though." Attached is a blurry shot of Sunny mid-leap in Discovery Park, looking less like a lab and more like something conjured from a foggy forest. By morning, it's got 2,000 shares comments flooding in like Puget Sound at high tide. Hero some cheer. Reckless idiot coyotes aren't pets, others snap. Alex wakes to his phone buzzing like a trapped hornet, notifications piling up, friends, strangers, even a Seattle Times reporter sliding into his DMs. "Mr. Harper, care to comment on your mystery pup?" He slams the phone down, heart racing. But Sunny just tilts his head, yipping softly, as if to say, "What's the fuss, Dad?" Oh, if only it stopped there. Let's unpack the chaos, because this is where the cause and effect chain tightens like a leash. Social media's a beast. Take the 2022 Florida python panic, where a single tweeted photo of an escaped pet sparked mass relocations, neighbors turning on neighbors' trust, eroding faster than a sandcastle in a storm. Same deal here. Mia's post morphs into a Como news segment by dusk, a reporter in a raincoat outside Alex's building, droning, "Local man's rescue," raises questions. Is it a puppy or a predator? Clips of Sunny flash on screen, those haunting eyes that eerie yip-spiking local debates. 'Cause one well-meaning post amplified by algorithm hunger. Affect Alex's life, once a quiet sketch of grief and redemption, now a public trial. Common mistake we all make. Underestimating the internet's appetite. One share can turn your heart's truth into a hashtag war. Quick lesson. Guard your story share with intent, not impulse, or the world will write it for you. The city splits like a fault line. At the dog park, a barista from Fremont high-fives Alex, gushing, "You're a legend for saving that pup." But across the street, a mom yanks her poodle away, muttering, "Irresponsible." That thing's a menace. Kids on bikes circle his block chanting, "Coyote Man," like it's a superhero flick, while signs sprout outside. Wild hearts belong, free. Alex, holed up in his condo, feels the walls closing in. Sleepless nights, pacing Queen Anne's hilly streets. Sunny's leash slack as he slinks through shadows, those howls piercing the fog. Alex's isolation. It's a trap we fall into, pushing away allies when the heat's on. He dodges Mia's calls, regretting it when he finds her old texts about her own rescue gone wrong. A feral cat that clawed her arm, raw landing it in a shelter. "I get the love, Alex," she'd typed. But love isn't enough when instincts kick in. Her words sting now, a mirror to his denial. Then the twist hits a jolt that'll make you grip your steering wheel or pause your bedtime scroll. It's a drizzly evening, Alex. Walking Sunny in a deserted alley behind the condo, fog curling like smoke. A jogger passes her chihuahua, yapping from a glittery leash. Sunny freezes ears, pinned body low, then lunges, a blur of gold teeth snapping inches from the tiny dog's neck. The jogger screams, scooping her pet, and bolting, while Alex yanks Sunny back, heart hammering. "He's just playing," he shouts, but the lie tastes sour. Sunny's eyes, locked on the fleeing pair, aren't playful. They're predatory, gleaming like embers in the mist. The jogger's already on her phone, likely dialing animal control. Alex's stomach drops. That wasn't a lab's clumsy pounce. That was wild blood waking up. But wait, the storm's got another gust, a plot twist that hooks you deeper. Hours later, Como airs a live interview, Alex cornered outside his building. Sunny cradled in his arms. The reporter's all business, "Mr. Harper, did you know your puppy could be dangerous?" Cameras zoom on Sunny, who plot twist nuzzles. Alex's chin letting out a soft, heartbreaking yip that melts the crowd. Social media flips, #Save Sunny trends, and flooding X with heart emojis calling him Seattle's sweetest stray. For a fleeting moment, Alex feels vindicated, the bond blazing brighter than the headlines. If you're driving home or winding down, let this sink in. That's the power of connection. One nuzzle can sway hearts, even when the truth growls louder. It's motivational fire. Love can look like salvation, even when it's a risk. Yet the pressure mounts, a cause-consequence spiral tightening. Washington's exotic animal laws are no joke. Coyote hybrids are banned with fines up to $5,000 and potential confiscation. Alex's inbox fills with anonymous tips. "Your pup's from a Cascades bust, check the news." Its mom's still out there. A shiver runs through him. Could a mother coyote be prowling the fog, tracking her kit? Compare it to Zobumafu's cuddly TV charm, masking the raw reality of hybrid bans across 20 states where owners face jail for mistaking wild for tame. Alex's mistake. Clinging to the fairy tale. Ignoring Mia's plea to seek counsel early, a wildlife rehabber's number could have changed everything. Another lesson. Don't go it alone. One call to pause, or the USFWS, can pivot chaos to clarity, saving hearts and hides.
As the city's eyes burn into him, Alex sits on his balcony, Sunny's head in his lap, the Space Needle glowing like a distant judge.
The fog rolls thicker, muffling the world. But not the howls in his head. His own, Sunny's the town's. The headlines scream louder, the jogger's fear replays, and a letter from wildlife authorities looms in his mailbox, demanding Sunny's surrender. Love's screaming to hold on, but the world's knocking claws out, ready to decide their fate. And just as the spotlight blinds, the real battle begins, not just for Sunny, but for the soul of a man who thought he was saving a puppy. What happens when the world demands you let go of the one thing keeping you whole? Stay with us. The final choice is coming, and it's gonna break your heart in all the right ways. Imagine sitting on your balcony, the Seattle skyline glowing soft under a starry veil, but the silence in your home feels louder than the city's hum. That's Alex Harper, now staring at the empty laundry basket, where Sunny once curled its golden fur, a ghost in his mind. The weight of the past weeks, the vet's verdict, the viral storm, that gut-wrenching Chihuahua lunge has led to this moment, a choice that's tearing his heart in two. If you've ever loved something so fiercely, you'd fight the world to keep it, only to realize love sometimes means letting go, you'll feel this deep in your bones. This is Alex's final chapter with Sunny, and it's not just a goodbye, it's a rebirth, one that'll leave you clutching your steering wheel or blinking back tears before sleep. The morning dawns gray. Puget Sound's fog curling like a shroud as Alex packs a small bag with trembling hands. Into it goes Sunny's towel, that wool jacket from the highway rescue, and a chewed-up squeaky toy shaped like a salmon, a nod to their Pike Place playdays. Each item's a memory, a stab of loss, but also a vow. This isn't abandonment. It's freedom. At the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium Wildlife Center, Alex pulls into the lot, Sunny chirping softly in the carrier, those luminous eyes searching his face like they know what's coming. Inside, the staff experts in coats with calm voices meet him with solemn nods, paperwork stacked like a judge's gavel. Alex answers their questions, the foggy night, the raw meat cravings, the viral chaos. Then comes the hardest part. He kneels by the carrier hand, pressed to the mesh, Sunny's nose warm against his fingers. "Thank you for letting me be your dad," he whispers, voice cracking as tears blur the world. The kit yips a soft pleading sound, and as the staff carry him down the hall, those chirps fade like a song you can't unhear. Alex stands, frozen chest hollow, yet a quiet peace stirs. Sometimes love means breaking your own heart to set another free. Let's unpack this, because it's not just a tearjerker, it's a chain of cause and effect that reshapes lives. Releasing Sunny to specialists means he'll grow as nature intended, not as a condo-bound pet, but a creature of Olympic National Park's wilds, where coyotes weave through cedars like ghosts. Real-world impact. Programs like Pause. Seattle Rehab. Thousands of animals yearly, with success stories like a 2023 coyote. Release boosting local populations by 10%, showing that one surrender can ripple outward, healing ecosystems. Compare this to keeping him a hybrid in a city, risks attacks, legal fines, or worse, euthanasia if instincts turn deadly, as seen in cases like the 2019 California coy dog mauling, Alex's common mistake. Clinging to what ifs. What if Sunny stays tame? What if love rewrites DNA? Reality check. Instincts don't bend, no matter how many belly rubs. The lesson, true guardianship, releases what you love to its true path, even when it hurts like hell. 6 months pass, and Alex's condo is quieter. No yips echoing off the walls. No claws tapping hardwood. But it's not empty. He's volunteering at POA's, now cleaning kennels, guiding new rescuers with a fire he didn't know he had. It's transformative, the kind of shift that makes you, driving home or winding down, think about your own purpose. One night, a ranger's email lands a grainy photo of a young coyote in the Olympics' golden coat, gleaming eyes fierce but familiar. Sunny thriving. Alex's breath catches a smile breaking through. His pain's not gone, but it's purposeful now. A scar that tells a story of growth. Here's the twist that'll hook you tight, a dream that hits like a whisper from the wild. One foggy night, Alex dreams of Sunny, not a pup, but a spectral guide, loping through mist-shrouded pines, pausing to look back with those ember eyes. You did good, the gaze seems to say, and Alex wakes with tears lighter than he's felt since Sarah's passing. Then, real closure lands. Mia, once skeptical, shows up with a senior Labrador. She's adopted a grizzled goofball named Rusty. Over coffee she grins. Guess we're both suckers for strays. Their laughter mends old rifts, proof that love's ripples don't stop at goodbye. For you listeners, curled up or cruising, let this sink in. Some paws leave prints on your soul, forever, guiding you to places you never planned. The motivational spark, Alex's journey, shows that compassion isn't just saving, it's choosing what's right, even when it carves you open. Schools near Queen Anne now teach Sunny's story in conservation classes, kids debating wildlife ethics, while Alex's advocacy sparks a local drive that cuts pet abandonments by 15%. A stat echoing Paw's real-world wins. Before and after, his condo was once a tomb of grief, now a hub of purpose. Proof that letting go can rebuild you stronger. Another pitfall to dodge: don't let loss lock you in regret. Journal it. Volunteer turn pain to action. Alex's final lesson, whispered under Seattle's starry veil, is this: sometimes the scariest truths birth the most vital growth. And just as Alex finds peace in the wild's echo, the world watches, waiting to see what one man's sacrifice means for us all. What happens when a single act of love becomes a lesson for a lifetime? That's the story's heartbeat, and it's yours to carry forward. Hey, you amazing animal lovers out there! Did Alex and Sunny's story hit you as hard as it did us? Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever rescued a stray or faced a tough choice for love? Your stories fuel this channel, and we read every single one. If this tale moved, you smash that like button. It helps us keep these heart-tuggers coming. Don't miss the next chapter. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're first in line for more wild emotional rides. Want to make a difference? Like Alex? Check out paws.org or usfws.gov to learn how you can support wildlife rescue and bus trafficking rings. Share this video with a friend who needs a nudge to chase their own healing path. Let's keep the love and the lessons alive together.